So, you've been wanting to learn After Effects. Good for you. After Effects is a pretty cool program. You guys want to learn how to use it, so I'm here to show you. Stay tuned, and I'll show you how to use this amazing program. What is up, guys? Welcome back to your tutorial. So, what we will be doing today is just showing you the basics around After Effects, how it's used, what you can do with it, and just stuff like that. So there's not really a certain objective we'll be completing today. It's just mostly just experimenting and stuff like that. So let me tell you a little bit about After Effects. I'm gonna maybe put some gameplay behind this while I talk. If you want to skip, I'll put a timestamp on the screen if you just want to skip straight to the tutorial. But if you want to know like all about After Effects, I'd recommend you guys listen in. So After Effects, you know, I use this comparison. It's really dirty, it's really bad, but okay, just listen, hear me out, okay? So After Effects is basically like a sweatshop. It's like basically a bunch of Chinese children doing your bidding, and what they do amazing things, but you have to tell them what to do. After Effects is the exact same way. You gotta let those kids know what they're doing. You gotta tell them what to do so they'll do it. This is After Effects. After Effects requires you to command it and tell it what to do so it can perform its action. So today, I guess I can just show you a couple of things like about motion blur, how to set keyframes, what keyframes do, time, and just stuff like that. So today, I'm just gonna show you how to do a simple motion graphic. So what you can do is start by creating a composition. Now, a composition, you know, start writing your definitions here. A composition is basically just a file, like a room. It's like a cake. Like you're starting your cake and you have to name it. So we're gonna name our cake or composition. We're gonna name it cake number 1 or cake exclamation point. No, let's not do that. We're gonna get just cake. How about just cake? And depending on what you want to do here, you can change the resolution or the frame rate. Excuse me, God, I'm burping. But you can change this to whatever you want. So I'm just gonna leave it like that, and I'm gonna show you guys how to do a simple motion here. So this is your timeline right here. This is where all the magic happens. This is where all the Chinese children are working at. So what you want to do is, like, we're just gonna start with a layer, new, and solid. As you can see here, you have to add layers to the cake. So you got text, solid, light, camera, null object, shape layer, adjustment layer, Photoshop, and just Cinema 4D, just stuff like that. So we're gonna start with the solid. A solid is basically just a background. So we're gonna do a black background and hit OK. We're gonna hit OK. So now the screen is black because we added a layer of black, or a black solid. So what we're gonna do here is that we're gonna get this little rectangle tool, and that it's going to, let me just show you what it does. It allows you to make a rectangle, but it crops out everything else. So basically you're masking out, it's actually a mask, but you're actually masking out just the part that you want it to show. So if I were to move this, like that, see, it only moves the black solid. It does not like enlarge and move everything else along with it. So what you want to do, let me just turn on my keyboard here for a second. Come on, man. All right, there we go. All right, so this is our solid here. We can change it. So I'm gonna make it slimmer. This is too fat. I'm gonna hold the shift key and I'm gonna just slim it down. And if you hold the shift key, it'll make it straight. If you don't hold the shift key while you move it, you might actually or accidentally move it to somewhere you don't want it to move, just like that. So I'm gonna hit Control Z on that one, and I'm gonna hold shift and make it smaller. About that size is fine. And I'm just gonna bring it out to a certain degree, so like right there maybe. Not too high, not too low. It's a lower third. And there we go, we got our mask. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna animate this mask. So animating is a huge factor of After Effects. After Effects is all about animating, so stay tuned right here. Pay really close attention to this. This is the most thing people have trouble with. This is what people don't understand. So select your black solid, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna make it go from off screen to on screen, and we're gonna make it look awesome. So what we're gonna do is go over here to our effects and presets. Some of you that know something about After Effects, you're probably asking, why aren't you just hitting the P key, which is the position key? Why don't you just move it right there? Well, I'll tell you why. There's an effects and preset over here called transform. And then when we type that in, you get this thing. You just drag it on to the actual layer. So this is basically like frosting on the cake, just something on top of the layer that's part of the layer. So what you can do here, as you can see, it has a bunch of settings you can mess with instead of just going setting by setting. So what I'm going to do is put it off screen. So where it says position, we're gonna move the X and Y axis. If you're not in high school, or if you've never dealt with a graph, I'm gonna help you out here. A little graphic on the screen right now. X is horizontal and Y is vertical. So the X comes first and then the Y. So what we're gonna do is just drag this number so it moves like so. And I don't know why my computer's lagging out pretty bad, but it kinda is, so just bear with me here. We're gonna reduce the number from whatever it is. Originally it was 900. We're gonna make it maybe, I don't know, less than 0. Like right there. And then after that, we're gonna hit this little stopwatch. This stopwatch is a keyframe. A keyframe is basically a point in time that tells After Effects, hey, this is what's going to happen at this point in time. Now, if we drag a couple of seconds over here, like maybe 2 to 3 seconds, we're going to switch it back to what it was originally, or we just choose a spot. So right there is fine, I guess. It doesn't have to be all the way out. And I think that's pretty much it. So now if we go back and forth here, I'm gonna change the resolution that it previews in from full to half, maybe. I don't know. It's taking a while for it to load. I'm gonna change it to third, actually. This is what it has to do to render. So now, as you can see, it's much more fluid. So changing this little thing is another great tip. I'm glad I ran into this problem. If it's on full always, it's gonna be really slow unless you have a really fast computer. So if you have a slow computer, I do quarter, which it looks all blurry, but once you go to full, once you render in full, it'll look normal. So for now, I'm gonna go in third, because third is just, you know, it's in between. So as you can see here, we've animated this. So if we render or pre-render this, like here, and this little thing right here that I dragged, you're basically setting the boundaries that it's going to render. So I made it past 3 seconds a little, so it would get like a sort of loop thing. So as you can see over here on your preview bar, you can hit this little arrow that says RAM preview. If you don't have this window, you can go to window and make sure you have preview selected. Now make sure you go over here, hit the little preview thing, and as you can see, this is in real time what you'll be seeing once it's done rendering. And as you can see, it's way too slow, guys. This is way too slow. So what I'm going to do is click on the black solid and hit the U key. The U key will bring up all the keyframes you have. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to move this keyframe to 1 second. I'm going to move this one to 2 seconds. So that way it's a 1 second animation. So now we're going to see how this looks like. We're going to hit the RAM preview. It's a lot better. It's kind of slow, but it's better. It's getting better. So I'm going to just bring this thing just a little bit. Not too much. We don't want to just, there we go. That is perfect. It's not too fast, not too slow. So, excuse me, now that we have that rendered, or not rendered, now that we have it keyframed and ready and animated, we can actually start adding more things. So, as you can see, this is kind of robotic. It's not that smooth and effortless. It's more of a like mechanical move. So what we're gonna do is hit U one more time. If you didn't select off, good job. Hit U to show your keyframes and select your keyframes. You can do that by dragging on your timeline and they should be highlighted blue. I'm in After Effects CC, and there's another version called After Effects CS6. They're basically the same thing, but CC, I feel personally that it's better for beginners. So if you're a beginner, I'd recommend you use CC because it's just easier. It's not that easy, but you know, it's just easier to look at the stuff. So anyways, you want to right click, go to Keyframe Assistant and hit Easy Ease. This will ease the transition in and out. I know that sounds dirty, but it transitions the animation, and it makes it look smoother, makes it look less mechanical. So as you can see, it's just smoother. And what we can do to make it look even more smoother is going over here where you have these little 3 circles. This is the motion blur effect. If you click on it, it's gonna look like this. It's gonna have this little logo here, and once you click it over here and enable it, you can tell the difference. It's gonna blur the movement, so it's gonna look much more natural. So make sure you have this selected. Like I said, CC is better because as you can see, it's in blue. You can tell it's on. If you were in CS6, it'd just be a bit darker. So that's why I recommend CC for you beginners out there. Now, as you can see, it's just way smoother, guys. It's way smoother. So let's render this out real quick. As you can see in real time, this is what you're gonna get. It's really smooth, a nice transition, and it looks pretty awesome, right? So now let's add some text, and this is where people have more problems too. This is the black solid. We're gonna name it. If you hit the enter key, you can rename it. We're gonna name it. Let's see, layer 1A. I'm sorry, I don't even know. Okay, just another layer, A. And then now we're gonna add a text. So now we're gonna go to projects. That way we can see what we're dealing with. We got our solids here. Now we're gonna hit this little text tool over here, and we're just gonna click somewhere. And as you can see, in a minute here, it's gonna show up like this. It's not gonna blink or flash. It's just gonna stay like that, and you just type in what you want to type. So I'm gonna type in tutorial. As you can see, you can't really see it that well because of the color. Come over here to the little color thing, the color swatch, and you want to click on that. Make sure to give it some time if your computer's kind of slow. Mine is, so I'm going to give it some time. And I'm going to make it white because once it's on the black, you'll be able to clearly tell what it says. So this is way too big, obviously, so we're going to scale it down just a little bit by going over here to this little text tool right here, the pixels, and make it smaller. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna go over here to where it's already completely out. We can hit the U key, and we can actually set markers. So right here at this point in time, it's done. So I'm gonna hit the little asterisk key. If you don't know what an asterisk is, or maybe I said it wrong and you don't know what it is, I'll have a little image on the screen, but it's basically on your number pad. It's the equivalent to multiplication, what you use, a little star, and so that's what you want to hit. You want to hit that too, so that way when you don't have to have the layer open, you can just clearly see by the marker when it's out. So after here, it's out, it's completely out. After this second marker, it's just gonna stay there and it's not gonna move until we command it to. So we're gonna go over here to the text and we're gonna drag it by using our little movement tool here, and you want to make sure you don't stretch it, you want to just drag it. As you can see, that's what it looks like right there. Beautiful, right? We want to make this a bit bigger now that it's on top of that. We can kind of tell where our boundaries are, so we're gonna just set that maybe like around there. It's pretty good right there. And actually I want to set it up here, that way it's more of a theme. It's not just, you know, there, it looks like it belongs there. So here's the problem. Most people put the text there and they forget to animate it, and they just leave it there, and then they completely forget that they haven't animated that. So we have to animate it. So what we're gonna do is basically just tie it along, or parent it, if you will, to this black layer, so it moves with the layer. How do you do that? Well, as you see here, this little swirly icon, this is the pick whip tool, or what people call the parent tool. So what you do is just drag, and then just drag it onto that, and now if I'm correct, it should move along with it. Or you know what, I lied, it's not gonna move along with it, but if you move the actual solid, it'll move with the solid. That's what I meant to say, I just didn't say it correctly. So as you can see, we got that there. Now I'm gonna show you how to animate this. We're gonna hit the little U key on this thing right here, and what we can do is that we can copy and paste the keyframes, or what I like to do is just manually doing it, because that way we know what we're doing. So what we're gonna do is basically just go a couple of frames in front, or to the front after it's out. You don't want to keyframe it over here because it's gonna just mess up. So go in front of that second marker and make sure to keyframe the, we need to add a transform effect to it, to the text itself. So now we're gonna keyframe, I'm gonna keyframe the text, and we're gonna drag back to where it originally starts. So right here. Right, so we're gonna make it go all the way back, and if you hold shift while you scroll back, it scrolls to side really fast, so be careful with that. So just get it out of the frame, and then now you can see it come back. As we click off of it, we're gonna click off of it to see what it looks like. It's gonna be like that. So let's pre-render this and see how it turns out. So as you can see, since we enabled the text, the paragraph folders here, so we're just gonna click on preview, click on RAM preview, and now this is in real time what we're gonna see. But as you can see, the text is kind of sluggish and slow. So we're gonna hit the U key and on tutorial, and as you see, this is kind of slow. So once it gets here, I want this to be on time. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drag these back to where the second keyframe is parallel or on border with the black layer, so that way they arrive on time. So now same thing goes for this one. We're gonna put it on the marker, and we're gonna see how this looks like. So there we go. I don't like how the text is right there, so I'm just gonna make sure I'm gonna speed this up a little bit, just so it's like maybe around there. That looks kind of cool. Actually, not really. I want it to kind of, I don't know, I don't like how it looks. Maybe if I do this right there, it'll just look like that. Okay, we're just gonna go with that for sake of time. And now what we're gonna do is apply our previous steps to this one. A motion blur is already enabled. You do not have to enable it twice. So you just click on it one more time on the motion blur on the tutorial text. And as you can see, it motion blurs out and in, just stuff like that. So we're gonna pre-render this one more time. As you see, it's boom, it just slides in like that. It looks real nice. You animated something, and this is how animating kind of starts. Like, you could do Photoshop and you can make the little stick figures and animate them in After Effects, or you could do other things like with intros. You can do intros in After Effects. There's so many things you could do in After Effects. Actually the amount of things you could do on After Effects is just endless. So this is pretty much it, guys. Just something to, like, a small little project you guys could do here to familiarize yourself with the tools that you can use here, the potential this software has to make incredible things. So put those Chinese kids to work and make sure they make everything right. And hope you guys enjoyed this video. Actually, something I forgot, if you go back to the text, hit U, we want to make this into easy ease. So how do you do that? Oh yeah, you right click on this, keyframe assistant, easy ease, and now it should look even smoother than it was before. Look at that, super smooth. Alright, thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like and a comment down below with what problems you have with After Effects, and if I could help, I'm glad to help. I'll make a video about it. I'll help you guys out. I'm here to help you guys. So thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed the video, just please support this video. I love you guys forever. Thanks for watching. Peace out.